Hi Stampers, this is Karen Phillip. I'm a Stampin Up Demonstrator and I'm pleased to show you how to make this card. And today's technique is heat embossing colors. You can see that this little deer, maybe you can see it, there we go, a little bit of shine there. And then on your sample sheet you will have the deer directly embossed right onto your sheet. I'm using the stamps bundle of Encircled in Nature, and it has these stamps. I'm using this one and this tree, and then the sentiment, and then the dies. There are 2 cards of them. And then I'm also using the Grassy Grove stamp set. We're using the deer. Alright, so the technique, you'll need your silicone pad that works the best, and then you will also need your kit, and all the dimensions will be on the website. So we will take a piece of white cardstock, and this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. We have I have the 2 stamps on one block, so I have this curved thing and then the tree. We'll use Mossy Meadow for this one. Stamp it in the center. Ink it up good. Stamp it in the center of the square. Doesn't have to be exact. Like so. And then we will do the deer, and to get the deer shiny, we will do that with our technique. Set this aside. We will take Versamark refill and give it a couple drops here. Let's see how many we're going to get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's real thick, so it takes a while. About 6 drops. You have a little puddle there. And then whatever color you want, I'm using pecan pie. And you don't want a lot of this, otherwise it gets real soupy. So 2 drops of the pecan pie right in the center. And I'll lift it up and show you. Looks like an eyeball. There we go. So that's all you need. You'll take a sponge dauber and don't just tap it in there. You want to aggressively stir it up, basically. And it leaves sort of just a circle there, but it's mostly on your sponge dauber. And if you do multiples of these, you don't want to get it too wet because then the ink will get all over everything. So you might have to clean it in between like 2 or 3 of them. So I have my sponge dauber with the ink on it. You'll dab it on to your stamp. I'm using the deer. And then you don't, if you're using the clear embossing powder, you really don't need to use the buddy. So I'm stamping it right in the center of this tree thing. Make sure you get all the ink on there. Hold it for a minute. Lift it up. You can see the image, but now we have to emboss it in clear embossing powder. And it goes really quick. You won't see much difference right now until after you emboss it. Just drop the cover of the embossing powder. I don't want that going flying. Okay, heat it up a little bit. And then this excess, while it's heating, where's my little, I did do a little piece of, for the sentiment, I think everybody used them all. Yeah, I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so now we're just going to emboss. Notice I'm not going like this. You go in one spot till it changes. Watch. that's it. So you have a nice shiny image. It makes it stand out. So that's how you get your colored embossing powder. Let me see. Now I'm going to show you how you can make some embellishments with this technique as well. I'm not sure you'll be able to see these. They didn't come out as dark as I like, but there's some little circles on here, and I'll show you how I did that. So you just take a piece of scrap. You have enough ink on here. If not, you can grab some more and just kind of swirl it on the end of just a scrap. Dunk it in the embossing powder, the clear. This just takes a second to emboss. So you'll get that same color, and it just gets shiny. That's how you'll know it's finished. You can see that it's shiny. No, you can't. No, the light is not. There we go. Okay. So then you'll take any punch, that shape that you want, and this is a retired one, but it was the only one that I found that I had with this kind of any kind of circle or shape. I'm using a circle. So you cut these out. You can do 2, 3, however many you want. Okay. You end up with a lot of scraps to go along with it. So you got to keep track of your circles. So I'll just lay them on here to show you what they look like. There we go. So you could do 3 of them, and then this can be your embellishment on there as well. And they still have the same shine as the image that you put there. Okay. Now it's just assembling the card. You can clean this up just with a wipe, and you have to give it a little rub, and then you're all clean. Okay. So now we have, get my little circles off. We have the frame that I use with those dies, and we have the deer image. So you can kind of line it up. We'll put some adhesive on the back of the wood grain. Doesn't have to be a lot, just to get it in there. Okay, now we will line it up with the stamped part, like so. And then you can see that it's way off. It's not necessarily centered in on the square, but you can make it fit because you can. Then we will assemble this part. I have a basic beige embossed in the 3D timber, and we will just glue this on. Onto here, and we're putting it in pecan pie. And then I have a little strip of the wood grain, just for a little bit of something. Put that on across here. And then this is also flat. We're just going to put that on there. I'm liking my glue because it's more efficient, but it's also less expensive. Okay, we'll center that on there. Fits right on. And then we have these trees that were cut out from those dies. I did 3 little sets. We'll put those on with our glue. Takes a minute because there's so many. You could use the adhesive sheets as well. And this just goes here. Just adds a little bit of texture and dimension. And then the little ones. this one. Like so. You don't want it on the stamped part, you want it off a little bit. And then I'll show you a little trick for the twine, and that we will just put a little bit of a roll of adhesive. This way here. You'll just take a little adhesive, put it across the top, go up or down, up and down, and then you'll trim this part off. There's a little extra here. And then your sentiment will go right over the top. And that you'll use the rest of the scrap. And then that just goes on the top. And your little gems that you created you can put here, or you could put them up here. And that's it for this card. I hope you enjoyed it and can learn how to do this yourself. So thanks for watching and have a great day.